Welcome to the 3Gen podcast. We are three generations of
life,
love,
and legacy.
and we're hoping to foster meaningful conversations that bridge generational gaps, sharing diverse perspectives and experiences to promote understanding, empathy, and connections across different age groups.
We are three generations of life,
love,
and legacy.
Hello out there. Welcome to 3Gen Podcast. If you're tired of the regular politics and all the mud blasting going on, this is the platform for you. Everyday round the table conversation with family. Listen, I need you to subscribe and I need you to press that button. It takes a village and you are a part of the village. I'm Miss L.
I'm Raven.
and I'm Pearl.
And we are
The
3Gen Podcast.
So, ladies, how are we today?
I'm tangilizing.
Oh, wow. I love that. I love that. Pearl.
I'm tantalizing.
You girls are on it today. So, now who has a hot topic?
I got one.
You have one?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get it. Let's just dive right into it.
Miss L, you are hilarious.
You
I
are
know.
a mess, honey. I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
All right. My hot topic for this week. So recently, Damon Wayans from the Wayans family. You all know the comedic family, the Wayans family.
Yes.
Granny, I know you're not a big
In
fan
living
of them.
color.
Yeah, from In Living Color.
Mhm.
That's crazy because that's not where I know them from. But I guess your generation would know them from In Living Color. I know them from
Exactly.
like the Wayans brothers, My Wife and Kids, all of that.
Okay.
Anyways, he just did an interview with Shannon Sharp and yeah, Club Shay Shay. And it was basically just talking about, their family dynamics, how they grew up, and just how it was, I believe it was 11 of them, maybe
Quite a
11
few.
or
A
I think-
lot.
It was a lot of them. And they grew up, all of them have kind of came out and stayed in poverty. They didn't really have much. All they had was each other. They talked about how, like, their parents were just, they showed them love, but they always were his dad was a bit agitated because all he did was work, had to come home, try to provide and all of this. So there's been a recent discussion on TikTok because there are a lot of now influencers who are going live or making content from out of hotel rooms, asking for donations for their kids. They have a lot of kids and everybody's just like, well, if you're homeless or if you're living in poverty, it's not fair to bring the kids into this situation. And it made me think, it's like everyone always gives an award or has something to say about the success story of these situations. But when they're actually going through it, everyone is just so quick to talk down about it and not try to help out. But then later on down the line, that same family turns out to be another Wayne's family. Then they're like, look at that story. It's so impactful. Look at them.
Everybody likes a good ending.
Everyone loves a good ending, but at the time of going through it, and how do you all feel about that? Do you all feel like it's kind of selfish to bring kids into situations where you don't have enough funds for all of them or to keep having kids? What are your thoughts on that?
I do think that it's selfish and irresponsible to continuously have children and you're in a bad place or a bad situation. To be homeless and have kids and then you pop up the next year and you're pregnant again. I think that's irresponsible and it's not fair to the children or it's not fair to you and it's not really anyone else's responsibility to, especially when the parents are being irresponsible. Now, I do think that everybody needs a helping hand. I think that there are some very hard-working families out here that just can't get ahead. If you're putting forth an effort and you're working and you're trying, the one thing he did say, he's like, we never saw my daddy because he worked all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, he was going to make sure that he worked. He said, I don't even know if my mom and my dad liked each other or whatever. He was like, but he worked all the time but they liked each other because there was a lot of them.
Somebody like
Somebody liked something.
What do you think, Randy? Because you kind of come from a generation where people were having big families. Nowadays, I don't really think a lot of people do that as much. And not as much, but purposely. You all were literally having big families purposely.
We all.
Not you, because you only had one child. But
I don't know. That's a hard call. I believe in work. I don't mind. I have worked 3 jobs um, to accomplish whatever it was that I needed. And I don't. I remember someone said to a neighbor, "Why do you have so many kids?" She said, "All y'all do is have kids." She says, "Not that uh, all we do is have sex." She says, "It's when we do have sex." She said, "This is what happens." So I don't know, but I always like a large family. They
Me
seem to
too.
have a lot of love, and they seem to have each other to play with and whatever. But to have kids on the corner begging and whatnot, I remember kids. They used to sell candy apples, for the family. Whatever. But I don't think you should involve kids uh,
In
in
your
your
hustle.
struggles, and I don't think that kids should be used as a pawning object. I think you make these things, and I mean, after so many, when does it dawn on you? Uh, I don't know. It's a hard thing to say. You know.
It is a hard thing to say. And the reason why I brought it up is because I just saw so many people like being so bashful, like in the comments and like the influencers that I saw doing this. But then I'm looking at the comments of Club Shay Shay, and it's just like, that's encouraging. Oh, their family, even though they had a lot of kids, it was just so much praise. And I'm like, well, yeah, you all are saying this now because they're successful. But it's people out here right now who have like 11 kids and are struggling. Not even to say they're homeless, are struggling, and y'all are bashful towards them. You have so much to say. And I personally do believe that it's selfish. I don't think with 11 to 10 kids, I don't even think that you're able to give your children the attention that they need. Even like how they said their dad was always
To
working.
entertain each
That's
other.
not fair. But then most of the time when people say it's entertaining each other, your kids are raising each other, and that's not even fair. Like to the oldest child, to have to be responsible for raising their younger siblings, they don't even have time to be a kid. I feel like
I
it's ups
think
and
it
downs to both
depends on the
sides.
family dynamics and the culture and your upbringing. I think it depends on the family dynamics. And if some parents that are homemakers, that's what they do. And to each his own. I think that when people put forth a valid effort, everyone needs help. Like you said, there are some people that's struggling and that work hard every day.
Hmm.
And you're right, other people look down on them and they work hard every day. But when that one makes it or become a professional athlete or become, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, their family this, their family that. So we as a people got to get away from judging and putting value on people based on status or based on whether they've succeeded or whether they've, in your eyes, of what
Right.
success. Because that's not always success because you never know what the price people pay to
And
get
everybody have
to where they
problems,
are. Yeah.
large, small, in between. There
Yeah.
are going to be some problems.
Hmm.
But the dynamics of it, you can't really say. But I like a large family. Uh, they just always seem to have had a lot
Why
of
you ain't
fun.
have one?
It took up too much of my energy. Like I said, I work 2 and 3 jobs,
I'm just
and
messing with
I'm
you.
trying to look halfway decent in between. I got a life, and marriage wasn't on the card, so why have a bunch of babies. But uh, I love a large family.
Okay. I guess that's that then.
Good
Okay.
topic. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Thanks.
hmm So now we're going to get into something a little deeper: respect and disrespect. Now, this can go a million different directions, so you're going to have to bear with us. So, what are you thinking on this? We're going to start with Pearl. What is respect?
Respect is due to everyone, I do believe, at every age. I think that respect is given and earned. I think that respect comes from your morals, your upbringing, culture, um, and how you treat people and how you treat yourself reflects upon how you value respect. Most people that don't respect themselves have no respect for you. Most people that don't respect their property has no respect for yours. Most people that don't respect their parents definitely not going to respect yours or authority. So I think respect has to be taught. I think it's taught by example. I think a lot of families teach respect, but they do the opposite. So people are products of their environment. So people do what they see. So respect's a lot of things.
Yeah. What about you?
I-
Gen X?
Actually, I'm a millennial.
Millennium?
You're.
I'm a baby boomer.
I think that respect in certain families is taught, but it's mostly taught for like elders.
Hmm.
I think it's always just been taught, respect your elders and make sure that you're doing this, doing that. But then amongst each other or amongst a generation that's like a in between, it's just like be kind. But kindness and respect to me kind of played in different roles, if that makes sense. But I do know that for the elders, it's a little difficult to, always be respectful. You try your hardest, but y'all might be a little bashful. Like a lot of the times, it's just like you pushing it. But I think it's because you all feel that you came to an age where you can say anything, do anything, and it's just like, well, you were taught to respect your elders, so don't say nothing to me and all of this. And I don't really think like we said, respect it has to be given both ways, but I don't think that the elders really show the appreciation for the respect that they receive, and then also don't really show respect back. It's more so of a you should respect me. I've put in these years, but to
You don't think that you should?
no, I do believe it, but I'm just saying that it doesn't always go both ways. It's not reciprocal. Sometimes, like I just said, sometimes it's a little you straggling the line.
I think when it comes to the elders, they are due respect and they have earned that respect. And some of them can be um, a bit boisterous, or some of them feel like their opinions really are scripture. But I think you pick and choose, and I just think you let them have it. And to me, you just let them have it. You just laugh and, you let them have it.
You can let them have it, but it's just like what you said. They feel like their opinions are law. So as soon as you don't do something that they say, even if it's not, that's not disrespectful though. That I chose my own path. But if I don't go the way if you tell me to go left, and I say, well, right is quicker, I'm being disrespectful. That's not disrespect. What you think, Granny?
Now, as far as elderly people, I don't think it should even be a thought in your mind, regardless of which way they're going. Because I don't think they have a thought in their mind because I'm older or elderly. She better respect me. That's not how it goes. I
I
respect
think
my
some of them
elders.
do feel
I was
that
just
way.
about to say I don't want to discredit you because you are in that generation, but I do believe that. But you talk to your peers more than me, so you don't feel like you all think that respect is just automatically due because that's how you all approach people.
Respect is earned, and I think when you think that you need to, there's never a time that you need to really disrespect anyone because you
Mm-hmm.
have the option to walk away or just go your own way. You
Mm-hmm.
know, as far as talking back and going on with an elderly person, I don't think you know. I've noticed even in restaurants when an elderly person gets upset, the waitress or the waiter, they're not gonna. They just say, "Yes, ma'am. Okay, I'll do this. Yes, ma'am," and just go ahead and do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I I think at a certain point you have earned that. You should be respected.
But is
It's
speaking up or going against the grain disrespectful?
to you. Do you feel like that's disrespectful?
Young people do that. You all do that. Go against the grain. You say the sky is blue. Y'all go, no, it's kind of
But do you
gray.
think that that's disrespectful? Like speaking up, if you say
You
something,
know that person, and you feel that you can talk to them. I'm sure there's a way you can relate the conversation.
So it's not what you say, it's how you
It's
say
how
it.
you say it, and I think they will receive it. I think I mean, my
well,
friends think you're the bomb. I mean, they just can't get over you, and I don't know whether
you don't agree with them.
Yes, but I do agree with them. But
I believe that when it
And
comes,
it's because you respect me.
I
I don't
do.
have a problem with that, see. And a lot of times when you show people how you treat other people, it reflects
Right,
upon other
right,
things.
right.
See,
I do respect you, Granny, and I have the utmost respect for you. Um, there have been times though where I felt that what you deem as respect is a bit out there. And although I have bitten my tongue about it because I don't want to disrespect you, but it's just like you be wrong. And I'm like, dang, I can't tell her that without her feeling as though I'm being disrespectful.
you can always tell me
No,
in a
because
certain way. I mean, I don't want you yelling. I
I
don't
would
want you.
never yell at you.
I don't want you yelling. I don't want you cursing at me, and that's being disrespectful. But if you're having a conversation with me and you said, "Well, now, Granny, that's not right," because a lot of times I'm gonna call you for advice,
Mhm.
and if I can't receive your advice on one thing, I'm not gonna receive it on another.
And I will say that it goes in phases and stages because I can remember, Raven, even like during maybe your college years where you were disrespectful and you thought it was being forward or voicing your opinion or speaking your mind, but the way that it came out, it's like you had to learn how to channel that or how to speak your mind. But I can remember a period that you went through that your opinion meant everything to you and that you were very disrespectful in how you said it.
I can recall this time as well, and this is what I'm saying. I don't think that it was disrespectful. I think it was just more so me being opinionated and boisterous. And everything that you said, it wasn't like law anymore. It was more so me saying, well, no, I don't think that's right. And I just opinionated. Now I think that we have healthier conversations. We've learned to deal with that because, and then also I think in college, and this is just the truth. I think you all still viewed me as a child, so it was like stay in a child's place. Your opinion that they don't have nothing to do here, and I felt like that was wrong. And now looking back, I was younger and I was still being taken care of by you all, so I
And
was
so
still
you was
considered a
being
child.
disrespectful.
It's being opinionated though is not
It's
disrespect.
like she says, not that you have an opinion, it's how you voice that opinion. Because I can even recall family members coming around and saying to you, Raven, that was so disrespectful. Raven, you talk to T like that. Raven, you talk to that. Oh my God.
Well, again, I think it's just how you receive it. I received that though. I remember I told you one time, like they said I was being disrespectful to Granny, and then
Mm-hmm.
you said, "Well, you do talk to her," but again, I think it was just opinionated because even now, Granny, they say they still be having it because I think that we just had a relationship where I do feel like I can say things to you, you say things to me. We joke like that too. So then it was more aggressive. I was more opinionated, but now we still joke like that, and they still say the same thing. Like you be saying that to your grandma,
But
but that's
that's
our
your love
relationship.
language,
That
and
is
it's
our
a little
love
different
language.
now. But at that time, like I say, it took maturity, and it took you growing up and choosing your battles and knowing when to play and when not to play, because you know when not to play with Granny too, and what you can and
I
cannot
do.
say.
I do.
So you know.
Yeah. And I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that do you agree with that? We've gotten better. Do you think I was disrespectful back then?
I realize when you are a kid, when you are a child, when you are a young adult, this is the growth in me and this is the maturity in me. And I realize when you're trying to make a statement as a young adult and when you become an adult, I have to respect you as an adult because that's what you are.
Mm.
That's what you are. Now, when you're a kid, when you're in middle school and all this other stuff, I'm trying to help you grow into certain stages.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to attack you on everything, but there's some things that you need to be tightened up on, and I don't mind doing that.
Yeah. I think that the disconnect came from us. Like I said, I was trying to go into adulthood. I feel that you all were still like, well, no, that's disrespectful because we still taking care of you. You're a child, and I didn't view myself as a child. And then kind of what you said, Granny, you all were still in the phase of trying to teach me certain things. But again, like I said, if I decide to go left when you say go right, I still to this day don't feel like that's disrespectful. Now, how I go about it, maybe the approach, but I feel like just me kind of wanting to find forge my own path, you all kind of deemed that as disrespect.
When you don't want to be guided,
Mm-hmm.
you have to accept some responsibility. If I said the stove is hot, but you gotta touch it, then you gotta go ahead and touch it. Now, if it burn your ass up, then oh, you didn't say how hot it was. I said that.
If y'all wouldn't have let me touch the
Right,
stove.
it's like if you decide I just want to be a movie star, and we're saying, well, maybe that's not the path you should take, but you got to take that path. We have to allow you to do certain things,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to accept the responsibility that
The outcomes.
the outcomes of what happened.
Right.
And I think that has a lot to do with
But
it,
then it's not our fault when you don't become a movie star.
especially with that
don't-
singing.
Because y'all should have did this and y'all
I don't
should
think
have
I've
did
ever
that.
played the blame
Y'all
game
should-
on y'all. So
What?
I've played the blame game on you all.
Yes,
You need me
Well,
to tell the
Granny, in
story?
that age,
No.
in that no
Don't
more
tell the story.
stories. Well, in that aspect, okay, so it's a lot about me. Do you ever feel that you went through that phase with my mom of being in a respectful component disrespect?
Yeah, it's a part of growing up.
No.
Yeah,
you
it's a
think
part
you're
of growing
perfect?
up.
Not that I'm perfect, but I was never disrespectful.
No,
Not in my verbiage.
no, but it doesn't always have to be disrespectful. When you are in a spot where you think that you are old enough to do this or the
Yeah,
other,
maybe that part. Maybe
Then-
your actions. That's true
right?
respect's not all
It's
verbal.
it's not that it's disrespect. I remember when you got an apartment, your first apartment, and you didn't tell me, but you told you took Raven to see the apartment. Well, as soon as Raven come back, she says, "We got an apartment. My mama got an apartment." And I'm thinking, and you haven't discussed it. But I didn't say anything. I went and bought you a brand new white living room set.
You thought that was disrespectful, her not telling you?
No, but she didn't tell me, and she signed, and then she later on told me, "I got this apartment because I thought you would like it." What?
But in respect, we talking about respect. You thought that was
I
disrespectful
didn't. It
because
was
she
part of her growing up. It was part of her walking out on her own, and that I had to accept.
Mhm.
I didn't get upset about it.
Well, okay. So, Granny, I don't know because, like I said, I just feel like it's always about the coming up story of when it comes to respect. But a lot of times, it no shade, no tea, but you do things that are disrespectful as well. That are like because we have to respect you as an
Like
elder.
what?
It's just like we have to brush over it. It's a lot of times that I feel that you've been disrespectful, not only to me, but my mom. Like, you don't respect boundaries. You don't respect, like, a lot of times. And it's just like, okay, she my granny. You just got to let her have it. And it's kind of like what you say, Mom. You got to pick your battles. But sometimes
You're
it's
not
like-
letting anything go by. So what are you talking about?
Oh, yeah, you should.
I let a lot go by.
Do you?
No,
Yes,
no,
I
no,
do.
no, no, no.
But I think
A
that
lot of times you all think you've said something to me and you didn't. And I'm not one to just
well, a lot of times, Granny, you don't say nothing, and then you feel that it's just okay if you let it go. Like you tell somebody to come by the house, you don't even let us know, and then it's just like when they come, then it done threw everything off. You just be like, well, that's boundaries, and that's not respectful. You can't do that.
now is that that could be boundaries, but I would say that's disrespectful.
It's disrespectful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like when did this happen?
Well, this is Red Raven have this because she feels that it's disrespectful if I call her and say exterminate outside. She thinks that when I make that appointment, I should check with her to make sure that it's okay that the exterminator
No,
can come.
no.
No, but you feel like you should be informed.
I know where you're going with this, but
Where am I going with it?
were you talking to me about, but maybe I
I'm
didn't
not
tell
going
you, but I
in.
told your mom.
No. This
talking
is the
about
thing
the-
that.
You know about the roof and check.
The roof.
No, this is the thing. I'm talking about in general, no specific story. I'm talking about in general boundaries. You all do not respect boundaries, and that's really what it boils down to. It's no specific incident. There have been several, but there's no specific incident. But
I think
it's just a matter of.
But this is like habits that continues that are not broken.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
it's
but they've been
evolved.
addressed.
Yes.
It's like the first time it happens, even with you all, if something happens that I do and you tell me one time and I continue to just cross the boundary, it's wrong. That's disrespectful. When I tell you something that I feel, well, that's a boundary for me, and you're just like, oh, well, that's disrespectful. And then you continue to do it, that's not right. You don't deem that as respect?
You're right. Yeah, it's a level of respect and disrespect, but I think that you're a little bit more rigid than we are. So our boundaries are probably a little looser than yours are. You're very rigid. So
it don't matter. It's my boundaries.
And with us, we don't necessarily call it boundaries. We just be like, what the hell? And and we move on, or we done with it, or we through with it.
But
with
don't
you,
like
you're
it.
totally. It's not a matter of like or don't like, but
it's a matter of like and don't like. It's a matter of you all will be like, and I've heard you all say this. So and so just pop up. I can't believe this, and then you don't like that feeling, but you get over it. Okay, and maybe you can get over it, but to continuously. You want to get into it, don't you?
No, I'm done with that. No, I'm not getting into it.
Because that's not, it's just, I don't know. And like I said, I think that's just a matter of respecting boundaries. Okay. Respecting someone's boundaries is a form of respect.
I agree with that. Your boundaries have to be respected. And when you make them known, I do my due diligence to.
Sometimes.
Most times I do. Most times I think. I think I do very well with respecting boundaries.
Okay, if you say so. So, another norm that I feel is happening a lot now, that I know we've discussed this kind of in the past, when it comes to, and I guess this is not new, it's just a matter of how we are now handling it and how we feel it should be handled. When couples come to your house to stay over, especially young adults, anybody really, because granted you don't like this at all. When people come and they're not married but they're visiting you as a couple, you don't like for them to like be in the same room together. Do you feel like that's disrespectful to your home?
No, now my thing is with that, if you live together at your house, that's fine. But if you all live in separate domains, no, I don't want you coming shacking up in my house.
It's just a weekend.
I don't care if it's just an hour or whatever. You have to, you don't shack. Listen, for me, now this is for Miss L, if I live with someone, I'm not going to somebody else's house and shack up. I didn't say married to him. I said if we cohabitating, we're living together. I'm not gonna visit someone else's house and we go to a hotel. That's how I feel about it. But now you can come to my house if you all are living together. You can live together at my house as well. I don't mind that. But as for me, I'm not gonna do it at your house.
I agree.
And I don't want my brother, my friend bringing strange women into my house. I don't want my girlfriend or her friend bringing strange men to my. That's not happening. That's not happening.
I agree with that. I think it depends on the relationship. I think that if every time you visit me, you got a different dude or you got a different thing, then you and your dude, y'all go and do your thing. If you've my girlfriend and you and dude been dating X amount of years and y'all got a relationship and y'all cohabitate, then that's different. But and whether I know the person or have even heard you talk about the person, I think it depends on the relationship. I do feel that it's a difference if it's your parents' house or your friend's house or your children's house. So it's all about relationships to me. I'm a person that don't really like to stay with people either. My preference is always to stay in a hotel. I do have some family and a close friend that we will stay with, but usually when I go places, especially if I have family with me or if I'm courting, I want my own space.
And I feel that if you invite someone and you know that they're in a relationship, whether they're married or not, and you're inviting us, and we are invited to stay at your home, I don't feel like we should have to separate. And especially if, because I just feel like it's cosplay. If you know we sleep together every night, then I got to come over here and he got to sleep on the couch. I got to sleep in the room.
Why you don't go to a hotel?
Maybe we can't afford a hotel.
Well, y'all keep your ass home then. that's how that go. You and a joker can't afford a hotel.
They vacationing on you.
Yeah,
but
that's
it can be
something
a
like that
matter.
ain't right.
It can be a matter of anything. If I'm coming home for the holidays, I want to be with my family for the holidays. But now I gotta go 30 minutes to a hotel, then come back here to try to catch y'all for gift start wrap. Come back here to kind of do this. Come back. It's like, and we stay together at our home, or we like this.
You just
no, child don't like that neither.
No.
Y'all
you
have
stay
done
together
that.
at your house.
People have came to visit you, grand. They got kids together. Just because they not married, you like, well, they can't sleep in the same room. They can't.
I think it depends on the age of the person too. I think that when you're an adult and that's looked at different, and like I say, whether you're going to your parents' house or this house, but if you coming home from college or you kind of in that age group where you're not self-supported and y'all just, that's hard to say, oh, well, they so-and-so come home from college and she bringing her boyfriend and they, that's.
But you already know.
But why you can't sleep in separate rooms?
It's just, like I said, it's just cosplay. If you know that they already sleeping together, why do they have to come here and fake the funk?
Why you got to disrespect my house?
It's not disrespect.
That's like if they at school and they get drunk and high, they can't come and get drunk and high in front of their parents. It ain't faking the funk. It's just respect. We're talking about respect. It's just certain things you don't do in certain
places. He got
places.
to have or she got to go outside and smoke a blunt. What kind of business is that? You're not respecting me. I don't even smoke in my house. Well, where is something? Oh, they got to smoke a blunt before they get straight out. What kind of business is that? Go to the hotel or go to the park and y'all, hippie out.
Hippie out.
This what you bringing home? A joker can't afford a room.
I don't think it's always a matter of can't afford a room. I think
It's
a matter of community. When you come to visit someone, you want to visit them. You want to be around them. So to have
don't take them kind of vacations, baby. It doesn't look good. Now,
I was gonna say, and at what point if you come home and your parents are there and your family is home for the holidays, so your older uncles and aunties are there and this, that, and the other, at what point does it not seem awkward or weird to you to
go to sleep with somebody who you already in a relationship with? I think that y'all are over-sexualizing it, to be real. Y'all thinking that the disrespect comes when you laying up, hunching in the house and all of that. But
you gonna hunch. Go to the hotel. You gonna hunch.
You don't know that. And I think that's where
Yes, you are. I
think that's where
then you're gonna go upstairs in the middle of the day and hunch. That's
every chance you get.
Yeah, every chance. That's part of the program. Nice bed, nice. And when we wake up, we have lunch ready. All kind of silly mess. Go on to the hotel. If you're not gonna hunch, what's the point of sleeping together? You go in one room and he go in
the other. You ain't finna handle no business, huh?
Y'all get on the floor, one in the living room, one over here. Get in the room with my little brother, somebody. We can wait till we get back on the road.
I just think that's crazy. But again, it is your home. Whatever boundaries you set, it is for them to respect. But I just feel like that's a older generational thing, and I feel like that's a bit far-fetched. And that's what I mean by when the norms come out a little bit, it's like because someone doesn't want to do that or follow that, then it's deemed as disrespectful. But then it's also deemed as disrespectful if they do go to the hotel. Then it's like, oh, they couldn't sleep on the couch. Oh, then you get upset about that. It's like you can't really win in this situation, and then you end up just not bringing nobody home.
That's
it's just
fine
like whatever.
Too. I'm gonna tell you a little secret now. If that go for one with a man, if you can't take them to their house and lay up, don't bring them to yours and lay up.
You on the
that's
subject now?
That's a word.
Yeah,
that's
because people what they parents don't. Oh, mine's a preacher. Hell with that. You said your mama.
That's true. People will push you to disrespect yours, but they gonna respect theirs. That's very true.
Yeah,
but
you have to if you want respect, you gonna have to set some boundaries. And there's nothing wrong with saying we can't do this around my parents.
Well, in the same breath, I think that you all, when it comes to respect, it should just be given, not demanded. If someone asks this of you, it's not that they're disrespectful or they don't respect you. I think that this is just something that they want to do. And you can't force people to not want to.
Okay,
like,
but when you're in my house and when you ask me, that means that you're looking for an answer. And if my answer is no, then you have to respect that my answer is
And
no as well.
And listen, I say it's your home, your boundaries. When they
Yeah.
come to your house, you have to respect their boundaries. But what I'm saying is, on top of that, you can say no, and then as soon as they say, "Well, we gonna go get a room," that's deemed disrespectful
No, I
too.
ain't got no problem with that.
Yes,
That's
then
what I
people
want to
still
hear
have
you
a problem
say.
with that. Then it's like,
See you in the morning.
I can't believe you coming all the way home, and you would rather because he got to sleep on the couch. Because it's like, damn you do, damn you don't. It's just like, well, you want me to respect
If
your
you're
home,
nice,
But I
respect
think,
the
first of
guy.
all, the conversation need to be had before you get there.
Before you
so
get
you
there.
already know what the rules are before you walk in the door.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you are coming home to see your parents, everybody know what's up at home. You
I
already
think
know.
everybody know what's up, but and I can testify
if-
to this, and I think that you can too. When you go away to school, you do start feeling like you're grown. You feel like, okay, it should be a different approach to certain things. You know your people now. I'm not saying that you just go crazy, but it's just like, well, I'm not in high school no more. I'm on my own majority of the time. I'm doing these things anyways. So when I come home and I'm asking you, oh, can I bring somewhere? Oh, then I just feel like, but you know,
But you
Let
know,
me
you
tell
can
you.
you say, you can come, but my mama don't play that. You're gonna be upstairs, I'm gonna be downstairs. You
When
can
I
come,
met
but-
her grandmother on her dad's side, she must have been like 3 months old. And I don't know what he told his grandmother, because that's where he was raised at. That's who raised him. I don't know what he told his grandmother before we got there. But when we got there, she had made us a bed. And he said, put your stuff in there. And she said, y'all can sleep. I said, we don't sleep together. She looked at me. I said, no. I said, we don't sleep together in my mama house. I said, we won't sleep together in your house. He said, oh, no, I'm going to sleep out on the porch.
but where y'all sleeping together?
We had her, but we
Oh,
didn't. But
so
we
that's
didn't.
my point.
But
It's
no,
like
but we
y'all
don't. We
already-
didn't sleep together in my mama house. We slept together at
So, Granny,
Hotel Holiday Inn and all them
so
different
can
places.
you tell me, because this is what I'm saying, this is a bit crazy to me. You got a baby. You have a baby, so it's evident y'all are sleeping together. So what do you feel is disrespectful about this? Maybe that's just what I want to understand. What do you feel is
I'm not laying
disrespectful?
up in somebody else's house, unmarried, with a man. Now,
A man, it's not just a
her-
man. This
her
is
father-
your
her
child's
fa-
father.
and-
This is
and
someone
he re-
you've
and
been in
listen,
relationship
listen,
with.
he respected that. He's plainly said, "No, Grandma,
I understand
we're
that.
gonna.
I'm saying,
I sleep on the porch. It was
No.
a screamed-in porch,
I get it, and I understand
and
it.
that
It
was
didn't
respecting
happen.
me as so." And
But I'm asking you, where's the origin of, like, where do you feel, or why do you deem that disrespectful? Where's that origin coming from? Is what I'm asking.
I'm gonna tell you what my grandmother used to always say. Anyway, you don't pay bills, you shouldn't lay up. When you go to the hotel, you pay them. If you don't pay bills in this house, or you don't contribute to the thing in this house, you ain't gonna be laying up in here. She used to say all the time, ain't nobody in here but me.
Mm-mm.
So that's who paying bills around here.
And okay, let me say this then. If that's the origin, then that still's not right, because I've known I've paid bills. I know that you done paid bills sometimes, and you used to stay with your mom, and it's still you ain't bringing nobody in here to lay up that you're not married with. So that's even still
I guess it means your name got to be on the
deed. I mean, good. It's just like you meet one expectation, that's disrespectful. Then it's okay. Now I am paying bills. You still can't do it. It's still
You
disrespectful.
paying on bills.
listen,
You ain't paying no damn bills. You paying on bills.
on that same topic now, respect. That's what we're talking about. Respect,
Mm-hmm.
not just doing something. Respect.
Mm-hmm.
We came back about a couple years later with my mother, and the classmen circled that hotel. It was about 12 o'clock one night. This is in Quitman, Georgia, with her father, my mother, and he had a hotel room We had a hotel room. It was my little brother, Ursula, my mother, myself. That's four people, two people in the room. When those Klansmen circled that hotel, he came out of his room and he stayed in our room, but he stayed on the floor. Now,
Respect.
that was respect and that was protection. He could have been scared too. But he came in our room and there was no problem with that. And he slept on the floor. Matter of fact, he got pulled, put on the floor with her, made a pallet. And those Klansmen circled that hotel to about 4 o'clock in the morning. I didn't have a problem with that.
Respect.
That's
I
respect.
guess it's just a matter of what you deem
It's
respect.
what you call respect. Because
Yeah.
some people don't have any.
That's even
I
like
don't
with
think-
in my generation, everything was yes ma'am, no ma'am. I don't think the young people now feel that it's disrespectful for them to not say yes ma'am and no ma'am.
You very seldom hear it.
Do you feel that, Raven, that you should answer your elders yes ma'am and no ma'am, or yes and no is sufficient?
I think yes and no is sufficient, but I was raised on the yes ma'am, no ma'am. So I think it's just how you were raised, but I don't feel like it should be deemed disrespectful. And I have been told that that's disrespectful by an elder. And that's what I mean. Like, I'm saying yes.
You think, huh? No? Yeah, huh?
No,
What?
I mean, what, huh, and all of them, then I can see you having a problem with it. But if I'm saying yes, just because I didn't say ma'am, I'm getting a lecture behind it.
Are
Come
you
on.
saying yeah?
No, not even yeah. I said yes. Yes, ma'am. Sorry. I mean, what you want? Do you want what? What you want?
Respect.
I mean, I don't deem that as disrespectful. That's what I'm saying. I think that sometimes with norms changing, you have to change with the time. And I get, what? I ain't hear you. I get that being deemed as disrespectful, but it's for someone to just take ma'am off, sir off, and then sometimes you go around people and say ma'am and they get attitude about that. I'm not that old ma'am. Now it's just like, let me just say yes. Yes.
And miss this and miss that,
Yeah.
Mr. this and Mr. that.
It's just too much. So to give someone a single
At
answer.
what age should you stop putting a Miss and Mr. title on people's name?
Yeah, ain't no age no more. If they want it, it's just.
No, like at what age, if Miss L wasn't my mother and I'm an adult and maybe we're in the workforce or we're whatever, can I just call her Loretta and not call her Miss Loretta and it not be disrespectful?
I don't know, because I'm still confused about that right now. I called somebody by their first name last week, and I feel like you almost my peer. I mean, you just in your voice. They got an attitude about that. So I was like, you want me to call you Miss? That's weird. But fine, if that's what you want to be titled as, then fine, I'll call you that. So I think it's just a matter of what they prefer.
What do you say, Miss L? What's your preference? What do you think?
I don't have a preference when it comes to that. I've had young people to call me Miss, and it's okay. And I had some old soldiers calling me Miss and Ma'am and Mama, and they about my age.
But you don't
So,
like, but
but-
you don't like for children to do that. So what age do you think?
I don't mind it. When you see kids say yes ma'am, no ma'am,
I'm talking about to take your miss. If a child age 8 came and you said Loretta, you wouldn't care for that. So what age should
I
you
don't
feel
care.
like
I really don't care. You can call me Loretta. I really don't care. My name is Loretta. It ain't Miss. It ain't Mrs. It's Loretta. That's what my mama named me. And if I can't accept that and answer to that,
Do you think, though, that kids need to, even in this generation, this day and age, need to be taught to refer to people as Miss and Mister?
if they're older, yes.
No, I'm saying young. If the person is older,
Yeah,
yes.
they should.
Mhm.
But
I do
that's their parents' fault.
But I do too. I think
That's
it's and
secondary. That to a
All
kid
my
that
friends'
becomes
kids still say Miss.
right.
But if they don't, you think that they're disrespectful?
They haven't been taught. You can't hold that to them. They haven't been taught.
But you would deem that child as disrespectful?
No, I can't redeem something he's not aware he's doing.
I don't know. I guess it just depends on what you consider respectful, your family, what you've been taught, and how, your upbringing is.
Right. Let's talk about language a little bit, like slang, different things that um, maybe at one point in day in time was considered disrespectful, and now people just used it casually, use it slang words.
Like lie. Why
Yeah,
was lie
lie,
considered a
lie,
curse
lie.
word? I wasn't able to say lie growing up. I used to get
Neither
actually,
was I.
I used to get spankings for saying it. So, why did you all consider lie a curse word?
That's just how I was raised. I didn't consider it a cuss word, but I'm a cursor, and I've been cursing a long time, even as a little child. If I had to curse within myself in my bosom, I would curse because that was my way out. So it just behooved me not to say a lie, and because I've always been a cursor. And see, I don't see there's too much wrong with it, So
Did you curse around your mother as
I,
when you
no,
became an
I,
adult? As an adult, not as a child.
as an adult, yeah, as an adult,
What age did you start cursing around Granny?
At what age did I start cursing around? When I started paying my bills and running my household.
Hmm. I think
I'm a cusser too.
I curse.
See, I
I'm
don't feel
not.
comfortable cursing around you, Granny.
You shouldn't. But I'm not a,
It's not excessive and just low down under the
yeah,
tree.
I don't
Nasty
do
cursing.
that, But I do curse.
I had to think about that when we was talking about this. I was like, I cuss a lot, and I know I curse around you, but I have never cursed you,
Right.
and I think that's a difference too. I've never gotten that courageous or gotten that crazy or whatever. I've never cursed you or me and you having a conversation if it's a disagreement. I've never fixed my mouth to. And I had to think about that because that means that you're conscious and you can control what comes out your mouth. Because
You
I
are
have
very
never.
conscious.
But so and people be like, "Oh, it just slipped, or it just happened, it just said." And I know I'm guilty of that. It's like, "Oh, I said it before I knew
I
it."
stop people saying, I'm sorry about that. No, I curse.
Yeah.
But I think that comes with upbringing as well, and then also just with what norms are being changed. Because, like I said, Granny, I'm still, and I don't really curse around you like I don't really curse a lot though. So,
That's
but
good. It's not
You're not a
ladylike.
cursor at all.
yeah,
Okay.
so I don't really curse. But if I were to curse, I definitely don't feel comfortable like cursing
And you
around you,
should.
Granny.
It's not
But
ladylike.
we have a generation that's under us, and they curse all the time around y'all,
Right.
and I be looking at them like, you just said that around, like all
But
the
I think
time.
you used to curse, and I think, like I say, you have matured in.
But I'm talking about around y'all.
Your growth. I've
I
heard
never
you
cursed
I've
around
heard you
Granny
curse.
like
Yeah,
that.
you
I've
you
heard you
have.
curse.
That's what I'm saying, self-awareness. But you've never been like just a vocal nasty talker.
I'm talking about just like in mid conversation. Like, okay, if Granny maybe back if we having something, and I'd be like, and then they said this and that, and it's a curse word. But not just Granny. Let me tell you about my MF and day. And this
No,
and that.
no, no,
I've
no, no,
never
no,
done
no,
that.
no, no, no,
I've
no,
never.
no, no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no,
Never.
no.
You haven't.
No,
You know?
don't do that.
But I see that happening so often now, and I'm just like, what's going on?
Because they're listening to social media, music,
And all the
just
music has all
this
that stuff
yeah,
in it,
and
you
it's
know.
like regular conversation.
And
It's
everybody
like,
know the words. I'm looking like,
that's the vocabulary or lack thereof.
Well, I don't think that that's an excuse.
It's not. It's
because we had some vulgar music when I was growing up. I think that, like you said, it's a time and place for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And you just should have the knowledge of this ain't the time for that. But I think that that's kind of phasing out. Now, people just like, whatever, this is how I talk.
Well, that's blatant, kind of just blatant disrespect. And most people that carry on and talk like that don't have no respect for themselves. But let's talk about a little bit, even professionally. It don't have to be a curse word, or it's the tone of your words in emails that people deemed respect or disrespectful.
I get in trouble for that all the time. I don't think I have a bad tone in emails. I think I'm in text messages. I'd rather you just call me because then you can really just get the gist of what I'm trying to say. I'm very direct, and I think that a lot of times I guess if you're reading it, it could come off as what, but I'm just saying what need to be
Sometimes
done.
your texts and your emails can be a little brass. Sometimes it's, and then when you talk to you be like, oh, okay, that's what. But you never, to me, even when you were a child, your communication has always lackluster. to me. Meaning that, you're very direct and you say what it is, but sometimes people need some background or you need some more information, but you just give you the bare minimum, just what you feel like they need. And then that's the kind of the tone. It's like, you'll text me, I see you didn't do such and such, but I need such and such by such and such. And I'll be like, what you talking to?
Well,
And
why
then,
do I
but
have to
then
send
when
a paragraph?
But no, then when I talk to you, be like, yeah, because the guy stopped by and he said so and so, and I know you forgot to. And it's like, okay.
I think that people forget that text messages were meant for if you don't have time to like full out.
And that's how you text,
And-
short and
To the point. That's what text
that's
messages were
that's
created
how you
for.
text.
That's how you text.
Yeah, and that's how it should be.
What about emails?
That's short and to the point. I mean, when people say this could have been an email, when you have full blown meetings and it's always in like this could have been an email, that means this is short. This could have been something wrapped up. If I want it long out, drawn out, I will pick up the phone and call you. I don't have these are communications that were put in place.
Tone is, I know, I see every day you write an email and you be like, oh no, let me erase it, because that you have to
Because
read it
now
and,
I'm being cautious.
Not me. I'm talking about me. And even when I first came back here, I think it's also your environment and because now you just kind of came from New York, so you're a little bit more abrasive and brass than you was when you left, and it's calming back down. Even when I first came back from Houston, and Laura was like, don't send that. Because I was like, oh no, we ain't doing that. They're getting ready to, and she's like, But I had to learn. You got to learn how to communicate in the environment that you're in.
I think that we're in sensitive times.
Oh, everybody's sensitive.
And when it comes to work, I also think it just depends on the situation. If somebody is sending me a message and it's about business, it's about work, it's about like what needs to be done, why do they have to send out 3 pleasantries before they get to the point? Why do they have to like go into a full blast detail? What you telling me?
Having a blessed day. That was a pretty dress you had on yesterday.
And I saw so and so. So I don't listen. What you want? It's about business. Let's get to it. And I feel like that's just how it should be operated. And I don't understand why people take offense to that when you know what I'm reaching. If I only contact you about business, why are you getting upset when I'm contacting you about business?
Because you get more with sugar than salt.
Yeah, all right. What you think, Granny?
I like email. I like text. It's confirmation for me.
You think I text brass?
You do. You talk brass. I mean,
text talk.
Yeah. I mean, you're a little direct,
Which is not always a bad
I
thing.
receive it. I know myself.
Well, hey, I don't have a problem,
Yeah.
But
yeah, I receive
and to
it
the
too,
point,
to
it's
the
fine with
audience.
me. I don't have a problem with email, text, or whatever. I'd rather for you to text me than have an excuse that I couldn't reach you by phone. You could have texted me,
I just saw some of my note card that I wanted to ask y'all, and I wanted to, because this respect thing, when we talk about respect, and we've talked a lot about classism, elitism, why is it that when you feel like people have reached a certain status in life, they got more grace for respect? Like, even with people coming to your home, or if they're a successful person, or if there's this, they can bring who they want to bring. But if they really just was kind of unemployed and didn't work, you like, where the hell they think they're going? Or just the grace you give people based on what you think their status is, as to does that earn them respect? And I do feel now that at a certain hierarchy or status or whatever, respect is due for your hard work or for your this but does that necessarily earn people respect or disrespect?
I think that it I don't know. I treat everybody the same. So
do I. I don't care who you bring. If I said, the door is open, bring whoever you want. As long as they're being respectful.
Yeah.
And respects my surroundings. But I don't look at anyone no higher than the other.
I love that. I love that. Very
I
good.
don't know, because I just feel if somebody came to your house and they wanted to sleep in the same room, but they were of, let's say, like Obama status. So, like, let's say Obama came and him and Michelle was married. You'd be like, go in the room. I got it all decorated for you, whatever.
No.
Yes,
no,
you would,
no,
Granny.
No,
Yes, you
no,
would.
no.
Okay.
No. Now Obama
I
come
can-
by himself. We may have to talk.
You gotta lay it out somewhere else.
Yeah, we got to put Michelle somewhere else. Talk about her later. No. I try to respect people, and I want them to respect me.
I agree
But
with that.
mm-mm.
And I can.
And if you
vouch
can't
for
look
her
yourself
that-
in the face in the morning for whatever you do, you shouldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you have to learn. If you don't think it, if they think it is, the respect is due to them.
And I'm that friend too. If friend, family member, or whatever, and I know that you're married or I know that you're in a committed relationship, and I hang around with you and that person, and me and that person cool, you can't bring the next person to my house or to my, not even if you just come to stay, but to dinner or to my party, or say you can't show up with your other people. To me,
You
that's
saying if they
disrespectful.
not in a relationship no more, if they still in a
They
relationship?
still in a relationship.
Oh, yeah,
that's
that's
just so
disrespectful.
disrespectful
Yeah,
to me.
let's
And people
not
do
do
it all
that.
the time. It's like,
I don't like
that's,
that.
And to me,
And
that
don't call
shows
me
that you
to
don't
entertain
respect
them.
me.
you don't
neither.
respect me. That's
Yeah.
very disrespectful
that's
to
very
me. I hate
disrespectful.
that.
And then I forget names, so then you messed up again because I messed around and called Sally Sue, and it's
That's
oops
very
and all.
disrespectful.
That's just
And that's not
disrespectful.
cool. That's not cool.
Well, what I think it all boils down to
Mhm.
is boundaries. Everyone has their own personal set boundaries. And once they tell them to you, once they display them, that is what they want in return
Respect
for
them.
respect. Respect everyone's boundaries, and I think that you'll be okay.
I couldn't agree more.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us again.
Press
Be
that
sure.
button.
Yes, please press the
Subscribe.
button.
Subscribe.
Subscribe, like, comment, share.
We want your comments and your feedback.
Yes, we want to
You
hear
have
it.
been really good at that. Love it. Just love it.
Yes.
All right. Make sure you subscribe and hit that like button.
Ta-ta.
Peace.